Hey everybody, Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, and I am here today to continue the tour of the house, the yard. So, this is what I would see when I was trimming the hedge back here. That's to the backyard. You can see that there. Now this spot is very important because right here, I'm gonna wait. This is where, see, what happens out here is that the people whom they're building this quote-unquote community for, those people would drive around here and they would literally just dump their pets off in our yard. And so the cats that we've gotten, the pets in general, oh, what's this? It's very interesting. What's that? You know, they care about their property so much that this is what they do. This is the kind of thing they do. Look at that. Ritz crackers. What's that? Because the people who bought this property are a bunch of crackheads? Is that some sort of symbolism? Bunch of Cracker Jack fuckers? I'll throw that away later, don't worry. I'm not like them in any way, shape, or form. So, we have gotten basically every cat in existence because of people neglecting their pets, the same people who they want to put in this community. Any type of animal, even. You know, we've seen, just this past year, I saw a dog, I saw a groundhog, I've seen all sorts of animals because people around here, they don't take care of their things. You know, they like to buy things, they like to have lots of money, but they don't like to take care of their things. And so what they do is they let their things get a little old, and then they drop them off here, and they either come with us or they die. So, there's another cool tree. Look at that. That thing looks pretty scary when it's stormy out. We saw a white squirrel up there one time. And I was talking about horseshoes the other day. This is where we would play horseshoe over at. So, another thing that I'd like to talk about is the shooting. And I know you're wondering, what shooting, Marco? Well, the people who owned this property and who neglected it for years and years only to sell it to a bunch of greedy crackheads, what they would do over there, one second, and look, they're a little posted, stay off of our property, wah. What they would do over there is they would shoot their guns all night long. And so I'm sleeping at, and then I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and I hear, and then I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, illegally shooting when it's not hunting season, and just shooting at all different types of times of the day. They had this little routine in 2020 where they would shoot, and that was where the fire was, by the way, the fire that those retards started. They would shoot probably every Saturday or Sunday, and they would disrupt us, wake us up, and we just had to put up with it because that's what it's like around here, living with these crackheads. So, this, oh, is it zoomed in or, okay, whoops. So here we go. This bush is a bitch to trim. And here's something else. This is what they think about history. This plank of wood right here. What's this doing here anyway? What is this? What is that? It's just there. It's just like this random plank of wood. It serves no purpose whatsoever, and it's just sitting here. And it's like, what the fuck is up with that? So here's the tree. I feel like I'm Lalo in Better Call Saul right now with this camera. So there's the shed. We'll talk about the shed too, don't worry. So here's over here the end of our property. And something really funny happened over here. Oh, what's that? Oh, that's nice. It's purified drinking water. That's nice. Very nice. So, I'm trying not to get the house in the picture. If you watch my Drunk Birds of Prey commentary, this is the area where somebody had a car crash during my commentary. And so I'm just gonna wait. And so I was sitting there in the middle of a commentary. I was like, why are people walking out on the road? And people had a crash right into those trees. And what's funnier is we might go back there too. There are still pieces of that car just sitting around there because the people who own this property neglected it like they neglected like a fucking one of their vagabonds or something. And so another thing I'd like to point out is that all the way down by that barn in the very back, that's where in the afternoon my school bus would turn around. And also to the left of it, that's where Cheyenne used to live. If you read my book, I talk about her. So I just wanted to tell you guys that. Whoops, did it again. So this used to be another stick pile, and we used to just throw sticks back here all the time, but eventually it just kind of overgrew and we just didn't care because we didn't really come back here much. So there's another tree. Trees, 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 trees. Very beautiful nature out here. This is where we used to have one of our gardens. We would have peppers and stuff here all the way over there. And this is the shed. This is another 1800s building that they're going to destroy so that certain people in our community can have a little bit more convenience. So, you see that broken window? They know all about it. They don't care. So things can get in through that window, rain can get in through that window, but they don't care because who cares? Who cares? And then there's that little crack in the building. More symbolism for crackheads of what they are. And here's the bush. The bush really grew weirdly. It looks like a creature from Stay Out of the Basement, Goosebumps. And over here, we have more of our garden. And this, that was actually one of our garden posts. But we stopped coming back here, so you can see that and everything. We stopped coming back here as much, but I am gonna go ahead and head inside here so that I can show you guys the proof. Ooh, there's a creepy red van. Creepy. Very creepy. I'm gonna show you guys the car. This car that it had a crash and it's like, oh, who cares? Let's just leave the stuff there because who cares? We care about people having potted plants in their yard, but we don't care about pieces of a car. So, I've gone back here before, don't worry. Ugh. So, it's going to be very risky coming back here. Oh, there's more trash. What's that? Oh. This will look great. I'm going to include this in all the letters that I'm writing, by the way. Oh. Oh, it's Diet Cola, so it's okay if we litter a Diet Cola can. And so you can see there's more part of our old garden. Ew, look at that. It looks like a crack whore's bunghole. Okay. Okay, so, oh shit. As we go further and further, and look, this tree's gonna die now too because they're letting these vines suffocate it. So anyways, let's see. Just looking for one piece of this car. One single piece. We might not be able to see it now because, well, there's a can right there. There's another can over there. It might not be visible anymore because it's just been too long. You know, I did that commentary last year. Oh, there's a plastic food container. That's pretty interesting. Oh, there's another can right there. Oh, what's that? So, this is where the crash happened. It's a better view. I'm gonna head back now. Is there anything over here I can maybe see? Anything? Anything? And you notice too that, oh, there it is. There's a piece right there. Boom. Right there. That is a piece of a tail light. Right there. All I needed was that one piece. I don't know if I can reach it, but it's worth a try. Nah, I'm not gonna risk it. So, oh, whoops. But you guys noticed something. Sorry. Am I zoomed out? No. They trimmed all the trees by the road because that's the county. But the owners of the property, they didn't trim the trees that were right here. And so these, oh shit, what's that? These fences are going to fall down, you know, they're going to break apart because these trees are so impeding on this property. I find that pretty interesting too. There's lots of other things that I find interesting about the people who own this property and how they had ownership of this. Ugh. So, now, let me just set this here for a second. Ugh. I got dirt all over my hands and shit. Probably other hidden dirty things. Here, I'm gonna be like Monk. What would Monk do? Monk would be like, could you guys imagine if they had done this to Monk? Well, they kind of did when he, with the parking garage, but that was different because that was public property. This is our house that we lived in for 34 years. So, the last thing Oh shit, how's my... Sorry. This right here, this is the spot where when I was a kid, I came out here in the winter time and I shot a little movie. Or I tried to. What I would do is I would shoot stuff and then I'd record over it because my dad said that tapes were too expensive. But I had seen this like Charles Bronson movie called The Hunt, and I wanted to do like my own version of that or something where, or it was like something totally different where there was just this guy, me, and he's trapped all by himself in this like wintry snow area, and he's just laying down on the ground with his gun, and he's like got to protect himself and survive. And that's where I did that. So now I'm going to take you over there from the other side though, okay? As soon as we throw away this recyclable garbage from the crackheads and all the crackheads community, the community of crackheads. I'm sorry that I didn't get the other stuff over there, but I will if you guys want me to. So, and the neighbors used to come over here. I'll talk about the neighbors in its own video, but I played with a lot of people over here, and I'll be showing that too in home movie clips so that you guys can be able to see for yourselves. There we go. We're more responsible than the people who own this property. Something else I would do too is I would run around the house, and my brother would just stand here and he'd tell me, okay, run around the house again, run around the house again. And I'd do that over and over. So we're heading back here. Probably should empty this out. And something funny that happens here is that spiders build their webs all through this area. And so like every time I have to mow the lawn, I have to get like a stick and knock all these webs down and tear down their homes. But at least they didn't live in those spider webs for 34 years, you know what I mean? I mean, you could say that too. You could say, well, the spider webs didn't own this property. But if they had lived here for 34 years, wouldn't they have the right to stay here? Oh, look, there's my old bathtub and the floor. We're going to talk about that really quickly. So, this bathtub, this is another part of the Nutsack family's neglect of this property, this historic property. So, basically, the Nutsack family hired people, well, one of them hired their boyfriend to come over and fix our bathroom. And not only did he not fix it fully, he basically just did a quick fix so that he could leave because he's a fucking lazy-ass retard. He dumped our old bathtub. He dumped it right here in our backyard. This is our old bathtub. It's just going to sit here now because he just... And then there's the floor. And I just find that interesting. You know, they talked about, you know, having these potted plants. There used to be flowers in there. How that was like having garbage. And then they just dump a bathtub in our backyard. And they think that's perfectly acceptable. And that's where our garden used to be, another garden. The place where somebody in this house called it a video garden on accident. And up there, what my brother would do is he would sit up out there on the roof of the shed and he would eat stuff, or he would sneak out and go to his friend's house and stuff. Friends' houses. And this is our bush. And this is where my dad used to like to go to the bathroom, on this bush. We're continuing back here. I will go over here and then go back, okay? Oh yeah, got more stuff to talk about already. So over here, on a serious note, there, look, you can see the fence, their own fence, by the way, already breaking apart because of their incompetence and their neglection. In this area, this is where we buried all of our dead animals, dead cats and things. And they were members of the family. And so not only are they taking away members of the family, I mean, damn, I just ruined my own line. Not only are they taking away our home that we've lived in for 34 years, but they're also taking away all of our other family members that we buried here. And I know you're saying, well, dig them up. You know, who cares if it's disrespectful? If you guys are going to leave, just dig them up. And it's like, well, how will we know where to dig and how much to dig? That's just ridiculous and absurd. And so they're taking away members of our family so that certain people in our community can have more convenience. And over here, those are some pieces of my old tree house that what ended up happening with that is that got damaged a lot too by the rain. And I ended up having to tear it down all by myself. And I just stood out there with an axe like all day, like chopping away at my own treehouse from my childhood. So that's pretty fun. And there were some more pieces over there to my old treehouse. They fell over when the inspectors came back here and messed around with everything. And I suppose you're wondering, Marco, oh, did you do that, Marco? No, that just happened, and you know, they haven't bothered to fix that at all. So, you know, the roof, look at that, it's horrible. And there's some pieces of the roof on the ground too. All these pieces right here, pieces of the roof. And there's an old army figure I played with back here with my brother. And there's a rope. I played with a rope back here and like tied it around a tree and stuff. So let's go back. We're going too fast. So that's the shed. Ugh. And I suppose you're wondering, Marco, what happened? Well, I wanted to use this place for a setting for my first movie script. I thought this would be a great room to use. It's so creepy and dark, and you know, you got this weird coloring on the wall where, you know, they didn't even bother to finish painting it because they're a bunch of fucking retards. There's the, look at that. But what happened is that the ceiling fell in, and they never bothered to fix it. They never bothered to do anything about it. The ceiling all fell down, and when I was younger, I wasn't really able to go in here much because I was scared of spiders and stuff. In fact, I think we only went in here like 2 times. I only went in here 2 times, and I went all the way back there because I just You know, there's spiders everywhere. Ugh, ugh. And you know how much they've neglected this shed from the 1800s. You know, I just don't want to take the chance until it's fixed up, which won't happen now because so certain people in our community can have more convenience. And right there, that's where he used to set his beer can. And over there, he showed me the toolbox. And he turned on the light, and then he showed me the toolbox. But what happened, sorry, I'm gonna wait. I'm always worried about the noise, and then I listen back and I can't hear anything in the background. But what happened was he is allergic, and so, you know, he can't really be in here with that exposed and everything. Ugh, very gross. And animals go in here too. Very, very gross. There's an old sled like in Citizen Kane. There's more of the ceiling that fell down and they never took care of it, which they're responsible for doing. They're responsible for taking care of their own property. I mean, we're responsible too, but when you rent, it only goes to a certain extent. So that's the snowblower. That's the old lawnmower. This is the new lawnmower that we had just gotten this summer. And there's another lawnmower. My mom thought it would be funny to get an old lawnmower and do that. And I hated it. It was the worst lawn mowing experience I've ever had. So what happened was, this was the door. And the door literally rotted off of the shed. This old door. And they never bothered to do anything about it. And one last thing from this area was, one year we had a Halloween party, of a couple of the Halloween parties, and he ran out through here with a chainsaw and a werewolf mask to scare the kids. So that was funny. And then here, that's the door to that room. See that right there? Look at that. Isn't that nice? That's the door. What used to be the door. Isn't that nice? What responsible owners. And that's our old ladder that we don't really use anymore. And they said not to really go in here because they own everything in here. And look how much they care about the stuff that they own. It's like, oh, let's just own things and then not take care of them. Like, the only stuff we really own is like that and then a couple other things. But other than that, it's all their shit. And this is where that groundhog went to that I had seen on the front porch. And like a bunch of other animals would just go in here and run around. Rats, raccoons, everything. And of course, they never cared. So, ooh, what's that? Mushrooms? What is that? I guess it is mushrooms starting to grow. This hole right here, though, this used to be like a big hole where we would find artifacts. And I would just play out here all the time. It basically looked like in Jumanji, when the kid found the Jumanji board game and he was in that building area. That's what it was like out here. And this is also where I filmed a shot from a certain movie trailer that was from my old YouTube channel. I filmed shots over here. I really loved being over here and stuff. This area. And oh, is that an artifact right there? Might be. Might be. I don't know. Not sure. I don't know what to do with that one. And basically, we would play out here. We would play soldiers. And we would dig like a little trench and put a hose there and let the hose water run there. And we would have all the soldiers like drowning in the liquid, and we would play with soldiers. And you can see there's another toy. There's some that we just left out here because we wanted to come out and play again sometime. Of course, now we couldn't do that because they're going to tear down the property so that other people can have convenience. I don't know what that was, this thing is, but this was there. Pretty weird. But the tree to our tree house used to be right here, and that eventually fell down too. That rotted out. I have video footage of that. And we used to have a hammock right here. It's the perfect place to have a hammock. So yeah, this is where the treehouse was, the infamous treehouse. And right here, this was where my swing was, my blue swing. And this was an aquarium where I kept a toad this one time. And I thought it would be cool to keep a toad, to take care of it as a pet. And it didn't work out very well. It died. So you can see there. That doesn't work. Any of that doesn't work. Just complete disaster back here. What they did to their own property. This was a fantastic barbecue. This is where we would make ribs on the 4th of July. And you open this thing up. And you do the fire there, the charcoal. And what would happen a lot, those wasps would make nests in there. It'd be really scary. And there used to be a rack here. And we open it up. Oh my God, look at that gigantic ass spider. That is huge. Oh my God. I don't know if you guys see that, but that is terrifying. We would cook ribs right here. I'm just gonna leave that alone. And this is where we have another barbecue. And we have our other barbecues there. That one we don't use anymore. We only use that one. And but this was where my swing was until it broke, and it was attached to the treehouse tree. And my treehouse stood right here. And it was basically a hangout spot sometimes. And it was also like a haunted house at Halloween parties until it had to be taken down because it was just so badly in shape. And it was also where I filmed shots from that trailer that I will post in the comments section for you guys to enjoy. You can still kind of see the tree a little bit maybe. It's been eaten out though. And usually in the summertime, we would take these vines down, and so I already had started taking them down. It's really a tough process, and you have to spend a long time doing it. It's a lot of work. And that's the room where I'm trying to shoot the film currently. That is actually our air conditioner right there. So that's pretty cool. And there's another grill thing we didn't really like. There's a bird feeder. We feed birds all the time. I guess they're not going to be allowed to get fed anymore because certain people in our community need more convenience. And this is also where our old cat Mandy would go out, and she would go to the bathroom over there. And there's the house. And that was another window that broke. They just didn't do anything to fix it. Didn't care about it at all. Neglected their property. And then that is how you get to the basement. It's an alternative way. And we sealed that up kinda. Very scary going down there. Very scary. I saw a really scary bug there once that was like, I can't even think of what it was. So yeah. And that was where like radio stuff was. We were having radio, a connected ham radio. And I'm trying to think, because there's just so much stuff I could talk about. Well, we had lots of parties back here in general. Lots of parties, including my graduation party. And it was funny because right here I was standing, and I somehow predicted that I would be doing everything myself for the movie. And I stood right here when I said that. And I don't know how I predicted it or how it came true, but that was the place where I said that. So, anyways, that's about it. So, please like this video, comment, and subscribe, and say fuck you to those people that live up there. Bye everybody, see you soon.